What's up? Today is Monday, September the 23rd. Got it. 2024. Hope everyone's doing okay. I'm doing fine. I'm looking at Rogers Hornsby's brilliant career. 358 career batting average. 2,930 hits. So I decided I'm going to do videos on him, and I'm going to look at every season he played. 23 years he played. 1915 to 1937. Interesting period in baseball history. I've looked at 7 years he's played. This video will be the 1921 season. He is 25 years old, and I have breaking news. He has arrived as not only a good hitter, not only a very good hitter, but a brilliant hitter, and I will prove it. His 1921 season, 154 games, plays every day, does not miss a game, 592 at-bats. He scores 131 runs. First time for him over 100. The year before he had 96. So by playing every day, he scores over that magical 100 mark, 131. He gets 235 hits. Now, if you get 200 hits in a season, you're doing very, very, very good. Three varies. Very, very, very good. He gets 235 in 154 games. More than a hit a game average. It's like 1.35 hits per game played. 44 doubles. 18 triples. 21 homers. 126 RBIs. So the first time for him, 25 years old, he goes over 100 RBIs. 126. The year before he had 94. 13 stolen bases, 60 walks. But here's the key stat for 1921. 397. You play every day and you bat 397. Now, I went through every box score for 1921. For 3 months in a row, he was batting over 400. He got, actually in the early part of the season, he was like 445. Obviously, if you're playing every day, to maintain 445, you got to go 2 for 4 or 3 for 5, right? You got to at least get 2 or 3 hits per game played. So some games he would get 1 hit, and then his average would go down. But he maintained over 400. 3 months in a row, about 90 to 100 days in a row, he was batting over 400. And he got into September. I looked it up. September 1st, he's batting over 400. He's 408 or something like that. So through the month, he's still 400. Through September, he gets to the 20th, he's 403. He gets to the 28th, he's 404. The 29th, I'll put it right here. I'll bring it up because I monitored every box score in that season. September 1st, he's at 408. Look what happens in September. September 2nd, he goes 0 for 4. So he goes down to about 404, but he's still over 400. Then he gets 2 hits, 1 hit, 1 hit. He has an offer, but he's still over 400. Gets 2 hits. On the 14th, right in the middle of the month, he gets 3 hits. So he's like 406. Then he gets 2 hits the next game. So he maintains around 406, 407. Then the 15th, the 15th and the 16th, he goes 0 for 7. 2 games in a row, 0 for 7. He gets down to about 402, but then he brings it back up because he gets a hit, he gets 2 hits, and he gets 1 hit, 1 hit, 1 hit. So about September 25th, he's at 404 and he gets 3 hits. He could have stopped playing right there. He didn't. He's about 406 on September 25th. September 26th, 1921. He goes 1 for 3. So he goes down to about 405. Then he goes 1 for 4 on the 29th. So he goes down to about 403. Stay with me. September 29th, plays a doubleheader. He goes 0 for 2 in a second game of the doubleheader. He's at 402. This is toward the end of the year. Then on September 30th, he goes 3 for 5. So he's at 403. It only went up 1 point for some reason. I don't know what happened there. It's too bad. So on the last day of September, he's at 403. Stay with me. This is Rogers Hornsby. Stop playing, Roger. 2 games left. You're at 403. October 1st, he plays and he goes 0 for 4. His batting average goes exactly to 400. I looked it up, the box score. October 1st, 1921, he's batting 400. Stop playing. October 2nd, he plays and goes 0 for 4. And his average goes down to 397. Rogers! What a complete tank. If you were batting 400 with 1 game to go, would you play? Now, I know Ted Williams did it. He was at 400, and he played a doubleheader and went 406. Props, Ted Williams. But Rogers Hornsby, I would have sat. Sorry, I want that 400 batting average. And I was batting 400 for 3 months. He was. But he decided to play that last game and goes 0 for 4. That is a tank on Rogers Hornsby. He's probably telling himself, he wasn't in the pennant race. There was no pennant. They didn't win the pennant. The St. Louis Cardinals in 1921. Yet he completely tanked and played the last game of the season, went 0 for 4 and bats 397. I'm disappointed. Do you realize that he comes back the next year and bats 400? And then 2 more other seasons, he has 400 again. So he did bat 400 3 seasons. Do you realize that Roger Hornsby would have been the only player in baseball history to have 4 400 batting seasons? But he played that last game in 1921 and went 0 for 4 to drop to 397. Ty Cobb had 3 400 batting seasons, and so did Ed Delonte. He had 3. He played in the 1890s. Cobb played in the same kind of period as did Hornsby. Cobb played from 1907 to about 1928. Hornsby, 1915 to 1937. Hornsby was in the National League. Cobb was in the American League. They didn't see each other. I can't believe that Roger Hornsby, he had a shot at 4 400 batting seasons. Because I told you he has 3 others. You know what he does? Comes back in 1922 and bats 401. He would have had back-to-back. Then in 1923, he bats 384. 1924, he bats 424. That's his highest. So he said, hey, no messing around. I'm 400 all year this year. And then in 1925, he bats 403. These are all legitimate. He's playing a lot. He's playing almost the entire season, and he's batting 400. He's one of the greatest hitters of all time. I'm just looking at this. This is a period of time. 1920 to 1925, he averaged 400 and better. 1920, 370, okay. 1921, 397. 1922, 401. 1923, 384. 1924, he bats 424. So that ups his average for over that period. And then he does a 403 in 1925. What a player. I'm really just kind of looking over Roger Hornsby's career. I'm looking at this guy and I'm saying, kind of a hitter maintains a 400 batting average over a 6-year period, and he's playing almost every day and getting a lot of bats. Wow. 397, 1921. He had a 458 on base. That's pretty good. 639 slugging. That's his highest. 600. 378 total bases. That's a lot. If you get 300, you're good. 378, magnificent. He had a 16-game hitting streak, 69 multi-hit games. That's not the most. He had 72 the year before, 1920. So 69 multi-hit games, 36 two-hit games, 31 three-hit games, 31 of them. 2 4-hit games. He had 21 games, 2 runs scored, 5 games, 3 runs scored, 2 games, 4 runs scored. He had 19 games of 2 RBIs, 9 games of 3 RBIs, and 4 games of 4 RBIs. What a year, 1921 for Rogers Hornsby. 235 hits. He played every game and bats .397. But realistically, he batted 400 that year. Because for about 100 days, I think it was 3.5 months, he maintained 400. But on the last game of the year, he decides to play and goes 0 for 4 and drops from 400 to 397. 400 is a magic number. Don't you agree there? Well, anyway, all right, that's 1921. A tank by Roger Hornsby by playing that last game. I can't emphasize that enough. So what does he do in 1922? He comes back and says, all right, no messing around this time. He's going to play every game in 1922. And he bats .401, and we're going to get into that next video, and I'll break it down what he did that year. In fact, this is his best year. You may say the 424 is his best year. That was in 1924. I don't think so. I think the 1922 season is his best. Why? He has 250 hits. Not just 200. But 250, and we're going to break it all down in the next video. Talk to you later. I'm out.